What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Hustle and Heat Podcast. My name is George, your host, and welcome to episode 22. For episode 22, I'd like to welcome two guests. These guys are the owners of Mazda of Port Charlotte dealership. Without further ado, I'd like to welcome Andy Bernard and Phil Evans. Guys, welcome to the podcast. I appreciate you coming on.
Good morning.
Thanks, man.
Good morning. Good morning. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Sure.
You go ahead. You go ahead.
So Mazda of Port Charlotte, new to the area. We've been open 2 years now. It was 2 years to the day 2 weeks ago.
Yep, on the third year.
Wow.
Yep.
It's been 2 years?
Yeah, 2 years already. So we're excited to be here. We're excited to be on your show. We're excited to get our name out there.
So, what made you guys pick Port Charlotte?
Kind of a long story. So, as you'll probably hear in our accent that we try to hide, we're both from Ottawa, Canada, where we have a Mazda store up there. And I was down here like every Canadian on vacation, just kind of down here with the kids and the wife, and looking around. I'm like, "Where's the Mazda store?" And I couldn't find one, and said, "Well, hey, maybe that should be us." So we looked around, did market research, approached Mazda in the U.S. and said, "Hey, we want to build a point." They told us, "Get in line. You and every other person in Florida wants to build a point here." We ended up going through a bidding process, a competitive process, winning the bid, and got the store. I came back to Phil on a snowy winter day in February in Canada with him shoveling outside and said, "Hey, do you want to go to Florida with me and open up a new Mazda store?" And from there, we built the point, hired the staff, and like I said, Phil said, 3 years in.
Yeah, so 3 years of planning.
Yeah.
Plus 2 years in, so 5 years total.
Wow.
To get it from forest and swamp to what it looks like now.
Yeah.
What was that process like? Was it difficult? Was it stressful?
Yeah, it was a huge process. Just even factoring the different countries, being 2,000 miles apart, trying to plan a store, trying to hire staff, trying to go through the construction process where it's totally different. It just every possible barrier, was there, and just honestly, I'm very grateful to my family for putting up with me. But we were able to get through it and get it going. But like we said earlier off air, everything is a little bit different here, so it was just a big learning curve for us. To get
So
built.
tell us about the difference between Canada and America
Ooh.
when it comes to the car business.
You know what? The biggest difference for us, what we've noticed just on the consumer end of things, is the U.S. consumer, because there's 300 million people, there's a lot going on, and it seems like decisions are made quicker than what we're used to.
Yeah.
We're used to the planning, we're used to people shopping, we're used to people looking. Down here, it's spot deliveries. People expect the car on the spot. Financing is done on the spot. Customer drives away right then and there. So that's a big difference. That's just the planning.
So in Canada, financing is not done on the spot?
No. So it's usually 48 hours between buying a car and receiving the car, and that's across Canada. That's just the standard.
Why?
Just
People set up finance. People set up the insurance. People set up the
prep.
rest of their week. It's just the prep, basically.
Yeah.
What do you mean when I go buy a car, I sign my finance, I'll call Geico or Allstate?
That's the difference, right?
40, you want me to wait 48 hours?
48 hours, yeah.
And that's
Thank
that's
God
the
we're in
norm.
America, guy.
And we thought we were crazy coming here.
Yeah. So how do you do that?
Yeah. How do they do that? People were looking at us.
Nah,
we
I
got
like
four
the
heads.
thrill.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You
People
know?
want it now.
I
Instant
like-
gratification, right?
Yeah,
That's
it's
what
a
it is.
gratification.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm going home with a brand new car. I'm not going to go home with my old car. What if I crash my trade-in?
So the benefit
In
of
those 48 hours.
So the benefit of this, we can now transport this to the Canadian side, and we'll be the only dealer up north doing spot deliveries. People driving away with
Yeah,
their car.
have you
Yeah.
taken some of those ideas and brought it
Yes.
up north?
Yeah.
Yes. we
What
have.
about the financing aspect? So you guys don't so I have a lot of family members in the car business, and they have finance managers, a finance director. You guys don't have finance offices in the dealership?
No, we do. Just the process is elongated a little bit. The other thing we do is there's a lot more rust protection in Canada, so that process takes hours. So if somebody comes in and says, "Hey, I'm buying that car, we're going to pick it up tomorrow," we got to fully rust-proof the car. Well, in Florida, it's not really a factor, so that's one of them.
Cars are kept cleaner. We
Yeah.
don't have the snow to shovel. We don't have the lot cars to move around. We still keep the cars wrapped in plastic up north.
Oh,
just
that
because
makes
of
sense.
the environmental impact of the cars.
Is that a big problem up north in Canada when it comes with snow and stuff like that?
Anything like a northern state as well, like Minnesota. We've got guys at the store now from Minnesota, so they're used to what we're used to.
Yeah.
So you're outside for 8 hours a day, 3 days at a time, moving the lot around, 250 cars, and it's just snowed 3 feet. Yeah, it's a big undertaking.
When we interview salespeople, we're usually like, show me your shoveling technique, right? That's usually
Are you serious?
It's a key part of selling cars. It's like, how do you shovel?
Rotator cuff injuries, right? These are old sports injuries. No, these are car business injuries that you get.
We still have snow pants. Like, we still have offices back in Canada. We still have snow pants hanging on a hook and winter boots. So it's everyone shovels when it snows. And it's just get outside.
All
right.
Stuff you don't get down here.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Absolutely.
So, why Mazda?
Ooh, that's a loaded question. So my family, I mentioned earlier, it's a family business. So my family started in Mazda in 1969 in Ottawa. So that's been our main brand that we've had. Phil and I both drink the Kool-Aid, and you can laugh at us, but we fully think that Mazda is the best production vehicles on the planet. And so in Florida, we saw an opportunity, as it's not well represented. There's been some slow to the line starts with Mazda in this area, and we thought, let's take Mazda to this area. Let's get us up to a 6, 7, 8, 9% market share that Mazda deserves.
Yeah. Which is what we enjoy on the Canadian side as well, and it's all about the cars at this point. I've been lucky enough, like you have, to work at other car brands as well, and everybody makes a great car these days, but longevity, crash, worthiness, that's what sets Mazda apart. The fit and finish of the car. If you sit inside a modern Mazda, I will put it up against absolutely any Highline car out there that you're spending 2.5 times the money for. You get the fit and finish, you get the body gap panels, you get the reliability that you don't get with those other mainstream cars.
One of the things we were talking earlier about B&I's groups and things, we're in a 20 group, and in those 20 groups, you have other dealers that have sometimes multiple brands. And behind closed doors, in confidence, we'll talk to other dealers, and they've had, some of these guys have every brand, including luxury brands, and have said, thank goodness Mazda is the best kept secret, because the product is superior to everything else in the market. And so that's the kind of way that we talk about the cars behind the scenes. The issue with Mazda has been as we said earlier, the slow start to the area. Honda and Toyota dominated in the south much faster, especially in Florida. Mazda's slow to the line. I mentioned there was no Mazda store here. I think there was one. It's now a pizza place. So we came along and said, let's put a store that makes an impact. Let's get out in the market.
So what's your plan to get Mazda to that 6, 7, 8, 9% market share?
Absolutely.
And what percent do you guys think you're at right now?
We're sub 3 right now, which is not abnormal for Florida. There are some areas in Florida like Orlando, Tampa, Miami that are pushing 7%. I think our plan is essentially to get people to consider Mazda. As we talked off camera earlier, immediately I don't think Mazda would jump out at you right as an option, and I think that's kind of what we're seeing as a consensus for most of our customers. Their parents have always bought Honda or Toyota, so they kind of gravitate towards those vehicles.
Yeah.
What most consumers don't realize, all of our hybrid technology is Toyota technology wrapped around a more modern vehicle. So we have a lot. Mazda has a technology partnership.
So you guys partner with Toyota?
Yes, sir.
There's a technology partnership, absolutely, yes. So the CX-50 currently is built in Alabama, and it's built right alongside the RAV4. So different lines of production, but currently in the CX-50 is Toyota's hybrid powertrain.
Wow, so you guys use their transmission, their engines?
Yeah, and they also use our interiors. So on their small cars, you'll notice their fit and finish has gotten better. They're using Mazda's technologies for the interior fit and finish.
We also have Lexus infotainment and Lexus cameras technology in our vehicles as well.
And all vehicles?
No, all the new vehicles, all the 6th generation that are out right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is your number one selling car?
CX-5.
The CX-5.
Yeah.
Do you guys do trucks or just SUVs, sedans?
Not in North America. There were trucks in North America. They were based off the Ford Ranger. They were the B4000. The only person that liked them was me. But they had you get 4 drum brakes in the front and back. Very reliable. But Mazda got out of the truck game in North America.
Yeah, very competitive market for Mazda. So they got out of it at that point once they didn't have that domestic partner.
Yeah.
But they have the BT50 overseas, which you'll check any Australian similar podcast and reviewers. They love this thing. Thailand and Australia, the BT50 is the truck to buy.
It's a beast. It's got a snorkel kit on it. It's pretty cool.
They outfit them to be true off-roaders, and they are an awesome, awesome looking vehicle. If Mazda ever listens to this, you should bring the BT50 here. North America.
If they listen to this, we're in good hands. So how involved are you in the dealership right now?
We are there, open to close, day after day after day after day.
Do you have a GM, or are you guys practically the GM?
Phil is the GM.
Yeah, so if we go actually in hierarchy really doesn't matter to us. We're always involved, but I'm there day to day.
Yep, Phil's there day to day.
Andy's there 4 out of the 7 days.
4 to 7 days. I'm back dealing with Canada as well. We have our store up there. But yeah, it's been I think our original thought process was we would open up the store first year, we'd be good to go. We're going on to our 3rd year, and there's still, as you know, George, being an entrepreneur, opening up a new store, everything is a grind, right? So it's just been a lot of uphill, but we're definitely starting to, I wouldn't say relax a little bit, but starting to feel the momentum now behind us.
There might be a glimmer of a light at the end of the tunnel that people talk about, that it might actually be coming into fruition.
Well, that's awesome.
So,
how many cars you guys push a month?
100.
100?
New and used.
New and used.
Yeah.
How much of that is new? What percentage?
50 to 60.
Yeah, 50, 60.
Okay.
Yeah.
And used, you just guys get them off trade-ins and stuff like that?
Yeah, the majority of it comes via trade-in, and we're lucky down here, Southwest Florida, the trade-ins come in are nice cars. The car could be 15 years old.
Yep.
Could have 30,000 miles on it, but really and truly, it's a piece of glass. It's a nice car.
Which
up north we're not used to.
Yeah, correct.
Anything that's 7 years old or older is just rotten at this point.
The
in
rust
time.
destroys
the
it.
rust just gets to anything up
So
north.
yeah, that's shocking. That condition.
But I just bought a pre-owned MX-5 that came in on trade, and it's 25 years old. You'd never know that it was 25 years old.
You bought a 25-year-old car?
Yep.
You love Mazda that much?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Drink the Kool-Aid, as Andy
Yeah.
said. I've worked for other dealers and other manufacturers, and I made my way back to Mazda because I think the car is all of that.
Are you guys like car enthusiasts? Like you guys like old cars, or are you guys strictly Mazda?
For me, I'm a JDM fan, so anything Japanese domestic marketplace I'm a big fan of. So those Supras, Mazda RX-7s, those mid-90s.
Can you get me an
Japanese
FD RX-7?
If I could find an FD RX-7, man, you would be second in line right behind me.
I mean, I'm sure we can find some. You just got to have 50, 60, 70
You
grand.
know what? I watched these things go from $15,000 on the used market to now commanding over 40 grand.
Yeah, I would pay one.
I kicked myself for not picking one up in the $20,000 to $23,000 range. Now trying to find one, you can't get them under 40 grand.
You don't want to pay 40 grand for it?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Let's
You
wait
say
till
not yet, but in a year from now, they might be 100 grand.
They've come down from 50 grand to 40, and that's been in the last 6 years. COVID ruined that market because you can get Toyota Supras now that are over $100,000.
Yeah,
that's
no,
true.
I have 2 Nissan 240s in my garage.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, I have a S14 and an S13.
Okay.
But my dream car is an FD. I want an FD so bad.
So that was the poster that was on my wall when I was in high school, was an FDRX-7, absolutely.
Yeah,
So,
I want an FD so bad.
Yeah, so I have to get into it somehow. I couldn't find an RX-8, so I went with the MX-5. I've had kids in 2 expensive of sports that one has made it to my driveway before this point now, so.
I do have a Hot Wheel for you though. I do have one in Hot Wheel format. So
I don't need a Hot Wheel. I need the real thing. I want to hear that rotary engine.
Okay, maybe we can go into one together then?
No. I'm a little selfish when it comes to
6
my
months
cars.
at a time, you can have it. 6 months I get it. Service is on me, how's that?
Service is on you?
Service is on me,
We can build it however we want.
absolutely.
All right, that sounds good to me.
Okay, there's a plan.
all right,
That's
I'll
a
set up
plan.
the AR. No problem.
Service on you. Yeah. The real question is, why haven't you catered the Mazda dealership with some Dubs barbecue?
That is
excellent question.
immediately going to be fixed. 'Cause,
Immediately.
yeah.
On camera, put them on the spot, Chris. All right, so tell the consumer, like, what you are looking from them. What's your ideal customer? What is your experience with other customers who've come in? And I'm sure you've had customers come and buy a Mazda,
Yep.
come back and tell you that they're glad they bought a Mazda and,
Yep.
and whatnot. Maybe shine some light on that aspect.
Okay. So what I would say that the Mazda customer, and we were talking earlier about similarities in Canada and the U.S. The person that walks in the store and says, "What kind of cars do you have?" is not a Mazda customer. Mazda customers tend to be technology focused, and they know the vehicles often better than we do. So that's our type of customer. Where we want to branch out to is people that haven't considered the brand. So Toyota customers, Kia customers, Honda customers that are kind of 3 generations, 4 generations loyal, to consider us. Just consider us as an option. Drive our vehicle, take it out on the road, see what you think before you commit to a purchase of another brand.
Yeah, what we're tremendously proud of is what we've built here so far. So our Google rating is 4.9 stars. We have 1,037 reviewers at this point in time. Our difference is what we make it within the store with the customer. So that business plan that we came down with was going to be different than what people are used to car shopping. People hate it. It's an absolute nightmare. It's the last thing people want to do because of the way they're treated. I think the way people are treated is terrible in this industry, and when I got into it, that was the one thing that I did want to change.
Yeah,
the
so
way people are treated.
people do have like a fear of dealerships,
100%.
especially women.
Yeah.
Especially women, because women say that they get taken advantage of, blah, blah, blah.
So-
And then everyone in general says that they get taken advantage of, they get put together,
Yep.
even if, with the car price or in the finance office. So
So dealers are
how
our
can
own
you
worst
change
enemies.
that perspective?
We're our own worst enemies at times. If we can take it away from the transaction and make it a true relationship building experience, that's what we're after. So fair, easy to deal with, transparent. Those are the three phrases that come up most often in our Google reviews. And this is not unique to Southwest Florida. This is what we built the business on at Performance Mazda in Ottawa.
Yeah, to your point, George, like those fears of the consumer, I think they're often founded. I really do. I think that dealers do, like Phil said, we do a bad job fundamentally.
I see it all the time. They get put together.
We like, it sounds like a stereotype because I think every automotive ad you see out there says transparent. We genuinely try to be transparent. We're not from a big automotive group. You can walk into the store and grab me or grab Phil and talk to us. What we did in Canada, so we're from a city of 1.3 million. There's 7 Mazda stores in that city. So it's absolutely.
Canada loves Mazda.
Canada loves Mazda, but it's too competitive. And so what happens is we get customers that go from store to store to store to store. And we said, how do we stand out? So what we did, and the old cliche, is just offer really, really good service to people. Sounds silly, right? We went from the worst store in Ottawa 15 years ago to number 1. And it was just from that repeat business, making sure people are satisfied, making sure that they tell their friends and family about us organically. That's what we're trying to do here. But like you mentioned, immediately when somebody walks in the store, the fists are up, they're ready to go, and we have to disarm them and say, hey, we're not like the massive group that you've been to 3 other stores with. We're unique. My name's Andy, this is Phil. It's a family business. You can come in and talk to us at any point. We're transparent with you. You're not gonna have a $5,000 addendum slapped on your bill of sale that we see, which is crazy. We're not gonna hide the interest rates from you. We're not gonna try to steal your trade. Very lay it out to the customer. They reward us by telling their friends and family, which is our request, right? If you enjoy the experience, if you're happy with us, tell somebody.
Have you had someone who wasn't happy?
Everybody does. There's, out of 100% of the people, you can please 95% of them.
That's a high number.
There's going to be 5%.
I would say 80.
There's always a portion of the population that you will never ever be able to please.
100%.
But we do our best to do it. But again, we'll focus on the 95% of the people that we can.
That's all you
happy.
need. That's all you
we can
need.
do.
That's awesome. So I know, talking to my relatives that do work in the car business, there's this new law going in place that Trump put in place about like online leads and stuff.
Yep.
How is that going to change your approach to doing business, and is that going to affect you guys in a negative way?
No.
Are you guys upset I'm bringing this up?
Nope.
No.
We're
No?
100% used to it. This is the way we operate anyway.
So talk to me a little bit about it, because I'm gonna be very transparent. I'm not too familiar with what exactly is about to go down.
Got it. It's consumer, essentially it's consumer protection law where we have to provide an all-in price to customers when they ask for a price. We're used to that. It's been like that for 15 years from where we're from, and that's how we operate right now. If you ask me for a price on a car, I'm going to say, George, what's your trade-in? You give me one of your Nissans?
No, those are not.
So
Fun fact about my Nissans: one of them is built, and the other one is just a bare block. No engine, no carpet, no seats, no transmission, just a gas tank.
just a tank? Okay, so we won't take that on trades, but we'll ask you basic questions, and then we'll give you an all-in price back that's transparent.
All in, as in dealer fees already included.
Yep.
Everything. What about taxes or
fees-
taxes afterwards?
No, fees, taxes, and interest rate and licensing. So that'll be an all-in price.
Interest rate too.
Interest rate too. So we may have to get some information.
So
from
that's
you.
a new requirement right now.
So taxes and interest rate, no. The all-in pricing has to include any dealer fees, any documentation fees, any of these phantom addendums that dealers like to add on to their cars as well, that can't be a surprise after the fact. That has to be upfront, ready to go.
Okay, so what if I go into the finance office and they're gonna put me together, like, give me like extended warranty, gap, tire and shine, whatever.
Products like that are your choice.
Is my choice. So
Your
that's
choice.
not affected.
They can be offered, they can be declined, or they can be accepted. Everything is a benefit as long as it's a benefit to you, and if it's explained correctly and properly, you can make that informed decision. Nothing is jammed down your throat. Everything is.
Well, on the front end, it's all clear as day.
Yeah.
And
Including the finance office.
what happens to dealerships that, there's some cars that are rare, not rare, but like, they're more in demand but harder to find.
Yes.
So, and certain dealerships charge an arm and a leg extra for these cars. How does that affect that aspect of that game?
It's not a Mazda. Mazda doesn't really produce vehicles like you can.
No,
talk about.
I understand that, but like in general, from your guys' perspective, how does that affect it?
I don't think it should. A car is a car is a car. To me, I've been in the business a long time, and whether it's a one-off special edition where they're producing 350, the market will determine what that car is worth. So if somebody's willing to pay for that unit, no problem. The dealership shouldn't be there saying, hey, I'm demanding this. There should be no demands made on any consumer.
Correct.
It should be just market driven. If the customer's willing to pay something for a unit, a vehicle, a whatever, then that's what determines the market, not the dealer.
I take particular issue with what I saw like during COVID and even post-COVID, where dealers were adding on these addendums to all production vehicles. I think that was a huge disservice to their brand and to consumers because.
Elaborate on that. What addendums are?
Well, there were addendums of sometimes $3,000 or $4,000 on every production vehicle.
Market adjustment.
If you they call it a market adjustment, right? So that's a dealer adding that on in addition to MSRP, right? So consumers coming in, now you're rolling an extra $4,000 into that price. That's dealer profit. That doesn't help your consumer out. That doesn't help the dealership out long term either. That if you're 4K underwater, and to bring me your car back in 3 or 4 years, what do I do with you? Now I got to roll that into your next car and your next car, putting you in further debt, and also disengaging me and you together, right? It doesn't work. So we don't agree with that. That's those addendums, anything like that. It doesn't help us, doesn't help the customer.
So how does, let's say, because I'm sure everyone in the car like consumer field, they roll over debt, right? I mean, there's probably many cases. Like for me, I had to roll over debt probably 2-3 years ago. I wrapped my truck around the pole in the parking lot, and instead of fixing it, it was just too much damage to fix. I didn't want to fix it. I traded it in. I rolled over about like, let's say $8,000 worth of debt. I got that squared away now, but what is your advice to the consumer to get that squared away if they don't have the funds right away?
So circumstances sometimes dictate that has to happen. If you meet, unfortunately, another vehicle and one is written off and you have negative equity, there's a product out there that's gap protection that does help the consumer in that way. So if you've got negative equity that you've rolled into a new vehicle, gap is an option to you that is a benefit to you at that point in time, because that will fill the gap between what is owed and what the vehicle is worth. If you are in an equity position, then gap is not a useful product to you, and it shouldn't be passed on. It shouldn't even be an option to you to be purchased. The finance manager at that point in time knows you're in an equity situation. It does not offer you any benefits.
Correct. We offer gap. Consumers insurance companies also offer gap directly, but it's a product that I would put on there. In that case, it would erase the negative equity.
What other products do you guys offer?
We're very strict with what we offer, kind of what we alluded to earlier. We don't sell anything that we wouldn't buy ourselves, or I wouldn't sell to a friend or family member. Yep. So Mazda offers Mazda extended warranty. How we recommend to use that is if you're financing a car for 7 years and Mazda's warranty is good for 3 or 4 years, we recommend purchasing the warranty for the balance of that term. If somebody's coming in and paying cash, you may not need the extended warranty, right? So that's one of our products we offer. The second one is Gap that Phil went over earlier, where that helps people if they're carrying over negative equity, if they're coming out of a very high interest loan and we know they're going to have that negative, we can put that on there as well. And then we offer paint and dent protection and things like that for leases. So we do a lot of leasing in Mazda, and so we want to make sure that lease is in good condition when the customer drops it off.
So when a customer comes in, when you look at their situation and stuff like that, I'm sure you tailor every deal to the customer's life and whatever. When do you suggest leasing over buying?
The customer is lower mileage. They're not doing a tremendous amount of miles per year. Is a great way to introduce a lease at that point in time. You can get into the car market for a cheaper payment than it would be otherwise to go out and purchase a car. And if you're used to flipping your cars every couple of years, you won't get into those negative equity situations with a lease over a purchase.
What if you're used to flipping your cars every few years, but you drive a lot?
You can
Still may make sense. You have to do the mileage and do a model. Like, but if you're doing 20,000 miles or 25,000 miles, it may make sense still to lease.
Yeah, it's still a simple calculation.
Yeah.
Let's say, George, you're doing 25,000 miles a year. You're 50,000 miles. You're allowed 30,000 miles.
Yeah.
Let's do the quick math on that 20. Maybe I can absorb some. Maybe you can lay a little bit of money out of your pocket. We can probably bridge that gap pretty easily. I'm a lease guy. I've always been a lease guy. I just think it makes more sense. My family leases, I lease. It's just a better way to buy a car, I think.
I think there's so much confusion with cars. Like we mentioned earlier, like the generational pressure, like, hey, like, grandpa bought a Honda, dad bought a Honda, you need to buy a Honda, I need to pay cash, right? So there's a lot of that family pressure where that may not necessarily be true, obviously with the brand I'm biased. And same thing with leasing. There was a perception that leasing was kind of a bad value. Oftentimes people are ahead of the game when they lease because the new technology is coming out, right? So if you're buying a vehicle right now and 3 years from now, where are we going to be with fuel efficiency, with interior tech? So if you're going to
It's crazy how fast we've grown as a society.
It's nuts. So you're better off, like, do the lease, drop the car off, walk away. But I think people have a hard time wrapping their heads around it. So what I encourage people to do is do the math. Do the math on finance, do the math on lease, and whatever one makes more sense to you.
And have a simple conversation. Again, this takes away from that simple transaction to actually building that relationship with the customer. If I can sit here and talk to you for the next 40 minutes about what's best for you, then you can make an informed decision versus me dictating or what you hear.
I feel like a lot of dealerships do dictate instead of listening to what you need.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, they want to hit their quota, they want to make their money. You know how it is. So that's awesome to hear. And I'm glad you guys are doing business the honest way. And I really hope that you guys get more and more busy. And I hope you guys continue to grow as a company.
Appreciate it.
What is your goal within 5 years? Next 5 years.
This one's you.
Yeah,
This one's you.
so our goal within 5 years is we would like to have that 9% market share in Southwest Florida. We really want to own our backyard first. I mentioned earlier, our biggest struggle right now is I'm walking through the supermarket and people say, oh, you work for Mazda in Port Charlotte? I didn't know there was a Mazda store. So as a guy, starting off, that's blood, sweat, and tears. I want people to know who we are. I want them to consider us as an option. To directly answer your question, I'd like to see us at 100 new cars a month. I think that's reasonable for us. I think that gets us to that 9% mark, puts us on the
I think
map.
you can hit that within 5 years.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
I hope you do.
Thank you.
Do you guys see yourself opening another dealership?
That's the absolute ultimate goal is to keep going. We know Mazda Port Charlotte. We know the business model. We know us.
Yep.
We know what we can achieve.
Yep.
And that's the goal.
All right. And where do you see cars in 5 years, technology-wise? Do you think we're going all electric, self-driving? Do you think it's going to be very similar?
I'll jump in. So I think one of the things, not to go off course, Mazda, of all the different brands, I think Mazda's done a really good job with technology, as they have not kind of gone all the way in on BEV, so battery electric vehicles. Mazda's really embraced the Toyota technology for the hybrid, which Toyota arguably is the best hybrid technology in the world. We've got that, but then Mazda is spending its R&D money on making the combustion engine more fuel efficient. So I'm really happy about that Mazda hasn't gone the direction of everybody else saying, let's do more EVs. Because I think EVs are great, they're fast, they have a lot of advantage, but also where we're from, even in Florida where people are driving an hour and a half a day, EVs have some serious issues. So I'm happy that Mazda's done that. I'm excited that they're continuing that lineup. I think every model that we have right now is going to have a hybrid option, which is very, very exciting. I think we're going to see a lot more hybrids in our mix, maybe 50-50, which is cool. I think Mazda's only got upside in this area. I mentioned earlier, every other brand here has been well established. For us, there's just all the future looks like to me is upside ability. So.
All right. We're going to wrap this up here. Do you guys have any last words, any last promotion plugs? Do you want to tell them your Facebook page name, Instagram name, YouTube name?
100%.
Yeah, just at Mazda of Port Charlotte for anybody looking for us. And then
798 Tamiami Trail. Come visit.
What are your hours of operation?
Oh boy, service from 7:30 a.m. Sales is open at 9 a.m. We're open till 7 o'clock in the evening. come and see us.
Come see
Andy
us.
and I are in the showroom. Come ask us questions. Come talk to us. Come sit in a Mazda.
Yeah, and if people have advice too, or not advice, but if they have questions and they need car business advice, we'll help people too. We'll share our information and knowledge and try to help them point them in the right direction, whether they want a car or just advice in general. So come see us.
All right.
You got something for George, eh?
Oh yeah. Hat and T-shirt for you, George.
Oh yeah, let me get him.
We appreciate you.
We
bringing us on.
appreciate that. I appreciate that, guys. And I will tell you guys, I'm gonna go to a Mazda dealership and see all this technology they told me about. I'll let you guys know how that goes. I appreciate you guys for coming on. And thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.